Okay guys, so we are on to the next part of our build here. We've got the oil cooler that is ready to go on. So what we've done is if your oil cooler was anything like ours, it was disgusting. Absolutely freaking disgusting. So hopefully yours wasn't that bad. But what we've got going on here is we went ahead and we took our little wash tank and we clean this guy up. We have to, of course, this deals with your lubricating system, so make sure it is spotless. I mean, painstaking. We washed it in the dip tank, and then we hosed it down with a squeeze bottle of gasoline, and then we went ahead with brake cleaner and cleaned it out. Brake cleaner can soften seals, so be careful what you're spraying it on. And make sure that you let it dry before you go ahead and put your gasket on. So we've got our oil cooler housing. We have our actual oil cooler. So this is a PAI oil cooler. We've used a bunch of these on different sets, and instead of them being like $200, they're like $125. We've gotten a fair number of miles on it. The part number for this guy, if you want the PAI, which is probably the same as the Cummins number, here you can see it, 495 9031. So the Cummins number is probably 495 9031. It's got a Z on it for PAI. Anyway, so our Mahale kit that we had and Victor Rains that it didn't come with an oil cooler, so we had to source that ourselves. I didn't bother pressure checking the other one. We just went ahead and ordered a whole nother oil cooler for it. So there you go. So we've got the oil cooler. Now that you've got that guy, come over here and I'll show you the set. So this came out of, I think these are Victor Rains. So there's the ones that came in our factory set. And I actually like the PAI set a little better because it's got more sealing area. So they're both super thin sheets of some kind of metal, probably a steel, a galvanized steel or something, and these guys seem to have better stickum on it. So I'm going to be using these gaskets, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see that this blue one here, if I go ahead and set the red one back down for us, and I take this blue one, let me carefully set it over there so we don't have any oopsie doodles. Okay, so if we set that up there, we've got the blue one, and you can see how the blue one, if you put it on, it matches up with these holes here for that passageway that line up with our oil cooler there. So that's going to let the appropriate flow of oil go, and then on this side, so this will go on the back side of that, that passes through where it goes into the block. So this guy will set up on the block like this, and it lines up with our passageways. Still, we've got the oil passageways, and it seals the water section off. I believe these bolts are 18 feet-pounds. I'll have to check that. I'll do a little flash up there if I'm wrong, but I'd say 18 is what most of these 10 mil bolts are. So we're going to go ahead, since I can't do it one-handed, I'm going to go ahead and assemble this guy so it'll look pretty much just like it does now. And we'll run some bolts through it, and then we'll pop back online here. Okay, so we have this guy sandwiched together. We've got the layers placed. An interesting note that I didn't think about till just when I was putting this all together is the fact that that tab sticks out. There's the original, and it has the exact same tab. So if you're looking at that thinking, why the heck is that tab sticking out there? It does it on the original too. Okay, we're going to pause and go ahead and put this guy on. Okay, and so there it is. We've got that guy. We just have 3 bolts holding it on there. We're going to go ahead and torque everything down. Stick it on pause and find that torque spec so I can include it. Okay, so here we are, last piece of the puzzle. We've gone ahead and we've got all our bolts, and we've put them in just a couple of threads deep so that we don't get any cross-threading. Important thing to note, so here you've got your pressure relief right across from it, so nose side of the motor, fan side of the motor, front of the motor, you've got one of the studs, the top on there, and then on the bottom back you've got another stud. So those are, and you do have to take this plug out in order to pull the bolt. We've already pulled the plug on it. It was loose from when we took the motor apart. So that is what they look like bolt wise. You can just get a good picture there of that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to torque all those down to 18 feet-pounds. So that's what the book says. And we will catch you later. That is your oil cooler install, and we'll go on to the next project.